guys, my name is Stephanie. I go by Fanny for short. My first name is Tanya, but my middle name is Stephanie, and it's harder to introduce myself as Tanya because not a lot of people know how to say Tanya, so I made it simple and went by Fanny, which is Stephanie basically. So today I want to sit down and actually talk to you guys about who I am and what's my tea and what's my story and what's gonna go behind my channel. So stay tuned and let's talk. This has been like a really hard video to do. You've seen me upload a couple videos, but not really introducing myself and what my channel is about. I started it originally last year in September, and the video was supposed to, not the video, but my channel was supposed to capture my move from Chicago, which is my home city, to California, to Fresno, which is a little town. Well, not too little, but it's kind of little. And it's just been really hard to acclimate and to try to basically figure out how to be here without my family, if that makes any sense. Plus I'm nervous. I get nervous to actually put out my life out there or to talk about stuff. And a lot of what happened last year was that I went through something really hard, and it just unmotivated me from blogging and actually picking up the camera. At first I was very excited. I wanted to share with you guys my trip, share how it was to drive from Chicago to California, which is a very long drive. It's not my first drive doing it, but it's pretty intense. The other part that I wanted to share was basically finding myself here, trying to figure out what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what makes me me in a new city. Back home I'm used to having my family, I'm used to having my friends, I'm used to being able to just get up and go, if that makes sense, and know that like sometimes I didn't even have to make plans. My friends would be like, hey, I'm outside, let's go eat. Especially one of my friends, Brenda. She's always been one to just call and be like, hey, what are you doing? Let's go eat or let's hang out. And here it's different, where I've had to learn to do things on my own. I had to learn to basically be happy and content in a different place where you're not used to it, and learning new things, but doing it on your own most of the time. I do have some family out here, but it's not the same as it is back home. And then I also started thinking a lot about what my brother was telling me. He was like, okay, so what's your channel gonna be about, and what are you gonna focus on your channel? And it's something that I've been really thinking about and debating on what my channel is gonna be. And here's the thing, I'm not a type, or my personality is not the type that I just do one thing or I just focus on one thing. I'm actually a person that does a lot of different things, and that is true to my every week. I have a lot of interests. I like to go thrifting, and especially now that I moved into this big house that I have to furnish and decorate and make it my own, I like to go thrifting. I like to go buy stuff or furniture that's really cheap, and then renovate it or make it me. I do a lot of DIY projects where I refurnished a piece. Not too long ago I went to the thrift store, and I bought, because I wanted the hanging shelves, so I bought one, but it was a pretty ugly lime green color, and I was like, I'm not hanging that at my house. So I had to sand it out, repaint it, and made it me. So it came out pretty nice. So that's another thing, that's what I was thinking, like doing that as my channel. But that's not all I do. I like to garden, I like makeup, I like I also do a lot of arts and crafts. Basically I do a lot of party stuff. I like to do party centerpieces, decorate for parties. As you've seen on the last video, the one before my last video, which was my birthday party, I decorated everything. I put up the decorations on the tent, I made my candy table, I made the backdrop. All of that is from me. The invitations for my party were also something that I did, and that's something that interests me. And then here, being by myself, I actually started picking up couponing. I was interested in it a little bit in Chicago, but I never really put any effort into actually how do you say it, to actually doing it. And here I actually picked it up, but that's because, again, like, you have to bring out of your comfort zone and try to figure out what's gonna make you happy. And trying new things was to occupy my time, basically. In Chicago, a lot of what I would do too was, aside of going to work, was every weekend I'll go out and party and go drinking, go out with my friends, go dancing. And here I tone all of that down. I do go out, but I don't really go out like that. And if I do go out, it's to major concerts or events, or I started taking a lot of trips. What I realized was that a lot of the money that I was spending on going out, and a lot of the money on drinking, a lot of the money on all of that was a waste. I mean, yeah, it's fun to go with your friends, it's fun to go dancing, but then the next day you're dying from a hangover, and then you look at your bank account and you're like, damn, I did all that damage. And then you think like, chin, mi mama me va a chingar, and it gets like, it adds up. So instead of doing that, here I'm in like a more calm place where that money I would be spending on drinking and dancing, I usually save it and go on trips. And that's a lot what I've done. Like, last year, aside from my trip from Chicago here, I went to LA a lot. It's like 3.5 hours to 4 hours from Fresno to LA, so I usually go to LA a lot. Aside from LA, I went to Vegas a couple times. I did videotape 2 of my trips to Vegas. One of my major trips was my parents actually flew up from Chicago in December, and they spent the holidays with me. They spent Christmas and they spent New Year's here. So my great idea was, let me fly my parents out to Vegas, and I'll pick them up in Vegas and have a blast in Vegas for like the first 2 days, then drive back to Fresno, which is about 6 hours. And I never thought to think like, hey, just buy one way to Vegas and then look for a ticket back to Chicago from either Fresno or LA. Never did that cross my mind until I had to take them back. And once I took them back, I had to drive 6 hours there to take them to the airport, which my dad actually drove on the way over there. And then I had to drive back another 6 hours. But it was already midnight and I was tired. I hadn't really slept well the night before, and plus I was very emotional because what I tend to see is that I start getting used to being here by myself. I start doing my routine, I start being okay, and then I see my family and having them here, and then my mom waking me up every morning, knocking on my door and be like, hey Cuqui, like your breakfast is ready, vente a comer, and it's then waking up when they're gone and you don't hear the knock saying Cuqui, vente a comer. And that was hard. So I ended up looking for a place to stay that night, and I was in my head I was gonna wake up early, like around 6:30, get ready and head out so I would get to Fresno early. I wouldn't have to drive at night again. So I actually woke up pretty early, and then I was gonna get ready. That was like 6:37, around that time, and I was gonna take a shower, get ready and leave. But I don't know, something told me not to, so I was like, probably my lazy self, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a little bit longer and I'm gonna sleep a little bit more so I'm not groggy driving. Turns out that I did do that. I went to check out like around 10, and the lady told me that the highway was closed, that I couldn't go home. So it turns out that at the time that I would have been on the road to go back home, a major accident happened, which they closed the freeway. It was closed from around 8:30, which was the time that, like, because it happened right off the exit of where I was staying at. So if I would have gone around that time, I would have been there. It was a semi truck and a couple of cars, and I was stuck there. So I was I ate breakfast and I was there, and that was from like 10. So then I was eating breakfast and I was hoping, because they said that it was gonna be stuck 1 or 2 hours. They didn't know how how bad the incident was until later on. And then the more we waited for the more we waited for the road to open, the longer it was taking. So it was already 12, and then I kept thinking, I'm like, it's 6 hours, 600 hours and a half, it's gonna be major traffic to try to get out. And I was waiting, and they didn't know when it was gonna be open. So I ended up looking for an alternative route, and I did go all the way around. I had to like do like an hour detour, but I was able to leave. And then the worst part was that I ended up driving back in dark, and it was pouring down. But later on, when I got home and I was looking at the accident, the roads didn't close up, like didn't open up again until like I think it was like almost 8-9 p.m., which meant that I was gonna like be stuck there for so many hours, and it was just a big ordeal. But I got home safely, thank God. And then I had called my parents because they were pretty worried too that I hadn't made it home yet. And the accident was pretty bad. There was a couple deaths, but up until now I keep thinking like something told me not to go that early. Maybe I would have been part of it, maybe I wouldn't have been, but everything happens for a reason. But I get sidetracked a lot when I'm talking. So that was some of my trips from Vegas, and then I ended up taking other trips to when they came, I took them to San Francisco, I took them to LA, to Vegas. They took them back to LA. Then that month in January, it went back to LA. And then I got most of the stuff ready for my party. And then in February, my sister, my cousin, and her boyfriend, my sister's boyfriend, not my cousin's, all came for my birthday. So since they came, I had to pick them up in LA. See, the thing is that there is an airport here in Fresno, but it's pretty expensive to fly in or out of here, unless you get a really good deal, and that's rare. So it's always cheaper to pick them up in LA. And we had already planned out the days that they were gonna fly in. So last minute, my sister ended up telling me that she had to switch her flight to the next day. So she wasn't getting here to LA the same time that her boyfriend and my cousin were, which meant we had to spend the night. So when we spent the night, we the next day I took them to little places here and there in LA, because it's a journey for me too. As I'm trying to like take them to places so they can see new places, because they're fairly new to California too. I'm learning too, like I'm being a tourist with them. But it gets back to my whole thing that I take trips. So full circle, my channel, I can't just say it's gonna be about one thing, because my life is not just one thing. I can be doing some centerpieces. I don't know if you guys will be interested in seeing how to do that. I can be renovating my house. I do a lot of projects, especially because some of the stuff that I want to decorate my house with is really expensive, and then I see it and it's really simple to do it, so I end up buying the material and doing it, and it comes out pretty nice. And that's things that I save money on, but that's also things that I can be showing you guys how to do. I like to garden. My front yard and my backyard are a mess. The grass, some of it has a lot of weeds, some of it is dry and patchy. There's not a lot of flowers, so I'm trying to get that up to date, but that's things that I do. Like I said, I coupon. I like makeup. I used to be a big fan where I will do full out makeup, but now I was breaking out a lot, so I'm trying to get my skin back to a healthy state, which is something I'm doing now, and it's made a lot of progress. But maybe you guys will want to see my skin routine that's helped me clear out all the acne I had, because I had like a lot of big cystic bumps. I'm also on a journey, because last year I touched this a little bit ago, where I went through a lot. It led for me to gain weight. I gained so much weight. I can say that I gained about 40 pounds since I left Chicago, and that's ridiculous. That's a lot, and that's in a short span of time. So now I'm trying to get back into a healthy weight. Then not only that, but I lost a baby, so it's something that I'm going through still, something that still breaks my heart. So I was going through the trying to conceive phase and trying to get my body regulated the healthy way, aside of the doctor way, medical ways, and trying different things and seeing what works. And I don't know, my life is just not one thing. It's a big journey, and sometimes I go through hard stuff that you think like, damn, mi vida debería ser una telenovela, or I'm waiting for the Rosa de Guadalupe moment to come out. But right now I'm at a peaceful state. It's been hard. There's times where I get really down because I don't have my family here where I can just go run and hug my mom. I went through heartbreaks. You know, it's just a lot. And when I did go through a heartbreak of like splitting with my partner, or back in the day when things were really rough, I will also look at YouTube and try to see like how people were coping with that type of feeling, with losing your baby or being in a rough spot with your relationship, how to fix it. And a lot of videos were out there, but not a lot clicked with me or were helpful. And that's things where, I mean, I found what was helpful for me, and maybe what helped me can help other people. So again, I can't say that it's gonna be one thing, because I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be one thing. I'm gonna try to upload twice a week. Most likely my uploads are gonna be every Wednesday and Sunday. And if I'm taking a big trip, I'll usually try to do it over the weekend, my big trips, so that my Wednesday video covers my big trips. And within that, you'll see a combination of topics. You'll see a combination of, if that week I'm doing a project, then I'll make sure I record that project and try to show you guys how to do it. If I'm taking a trip, I'll show you guys my trip. I find my trips are more fun when I take them with my family, and then you guys see a lot of my family. You see more of my family on the camera than me on the camera, but that's again because I'm still learning to love myself again. I'm still learning to love my image and know that it's okay to be where I am, but then I also know that I'm working to go back to me, to go back to the weight that I'm happy with, and to do it in a healthy way where I'm not starving myself, I'm not doing crazy things, but I'm eating healthier and I'm exercising to get back. I wasn't always the skinniest person, but I was at a lighter state, and that's where I'm happy. If I go to major events, like I said, I love going out, and if I go out, I'll vlog it. Most of the times that I do go out are to concerts. Well, here in California, it's to concerts, jaripeos, sometimes here and there like little clubs, but I haven't really touched that here. I'm gonna try to. And what else I do, so I'll put that up. If you guys want to see certain things, I can always do that. I feel that here, what I'm gonna do also is that if I'm going through something, I'll probably talk to you guys about it, what I'm going through, and then show you guys what helps me get through it. And I want to produce videos that make you guys happy, that you guys want to see, promote positivity, and see that it's a learning channel, it's a developmental challenge for me to put myself out there, which I'm gonna try to push myself so you guys can see who I really am. Also getting to know Fresno with me. I have been more of a homebody lately because I've been going through some health issues, but I want to step myself outside of that and actually go places that are interesting in Fresno. Like I read that they have underground gardens, so I will take you guys to places where I get to know the city where I'm living at, and not see where I feel like it's boring. See, in Chicago we have a thing, we have sections, which is the city, where it's Chicago, actually the city downtown area, and I live like 10-15 minutes away from the city. And then you have the suburbs, which are like 45 to an hour away from the city, which will be Romeoville, Joliet, Naperville. See, they like to say they're from the city, but technically they're not. Or they're from Chicago, but they're not. They're from the suburbs of Chicago. And I feel like instead of being in the city here in Fresno, I'm in like a little suburbs. It's like a little town. It does have its downtown area, but it's not the same city that I'm used to. I think like the closest city that I've seen has been San Francisco that I like. Last year we took a family vacation. We went to New York, and honestly, no offense to New Yorkers, I love everybody, but it wasn't for me. My cousin Brenda loves New York. She's like in love with New York, and I've seen some nice spots that she's gone to, and she just moved out there. But she loves it, and maybe I'll take another trip to New York, try it once again, and see if I like it, if I see it through her eyes. It's all gonna be a journey with trips, because there's always lots of trips involved in my life. There's always CHISMEs, which we'll get into. Yeah, you guys can always tell me what you guys want to see. What you want me to talk about. If you want to talk through video, you guys can also let me know what you're interested in seeing. More DIYs, coupon videos, gardening videos. Again, I'm not a professional gardener, but we're gonna do our best to get that backyard tidy, and I'll show you guys like how nasty it looks when I do an update on my backyard. And I can take you through my journey, because my life is a journey, and my life is full of different things. It's not just one thing. Like I seen on YouTube, there's focuses on it, like there's family YouTube videos, and I don't have babies yet, but I do want to have them, so I can take you guys to my trying to conceive phases on what I do and don't do, and what I'm getting my body healthy in order to have a baby one day. There's ones that are pranks, there's videos, and there's basically channels for everything. And honestly, mine can't just be summed up to one thing, because I'm not a one thing person. I am multiple things, but I don't have multiple personality disorder, I promise. But I do like to do different things. And see, English for me is my second language. So you'll see me speak Spanglish, and when I do speak Spanish, I'll try to caption it in English so you guys can see. But you'll see a lot of me saying Spanish words or phrases, especially with my mom. I don't know if the last videos you caught that we were saying a lot of oof, or que fuerte, or wow, que fea, but that comes from my mom. Whenever we ask her for something, we like, ma, can you get me this? And she'll be like, oof. Or me and my sister are fighting, and we say something bad to each other, or our little brothers, and she'll be like, que fea, or que feos. Or like we'll ask her something and she doesn't want to respond, or she has like some smart comment, she'll be like, que fuerte. And those are words that we say a lot. So you'll see a lot of that, and you see a lot of me referring to as Cuqui, which is something that my parents call me. Again, cookie is not for cookie like an actual cookie. They call me Cuqui, which is short for cucaracha, which is a roach basically. In Spanish, a cucaracha is a roach. So short for cookie, for cucaracha is cookie, so they call me Cuqui, which to them it's a nickname that shows their love to me. I don't know in what world, but I mean, I'm used to it. A lot of my friends know me as my second name, because usually it's easier to pronounce Stephanie than it is to pronounce Tanya. And when I say Tanya, people spell it incorrectly, or say Tonya, or it's just the whole mess. So I'd rather just say Stephanie, which is my middle name. And because a lot of people know me like that, especially one of my closest persons in my heart call me Fanny. So there goes La Vida de Fanny, which is the life of Fanny. my middle name, and that's why I decided to call my channel this. But there I've also been called Turtle, but that will be a story for another video. But I just wanted to hop on here and introduce myself, let you guys know basically who I am, what my life consists of, and the journey I'm basically taking, and taking you guys with me, and hope that you guys love what I put out there and know that I'm putting it out there because it makes me happy to do it, but it also is me breaking it out of a shell and showing you guys what my life is. Now, I do want to specify that there's certain aspects of my life that I do want to keep private, and that's because I want to have privacy to an extent in my life, but I also want to share as much as I can with you guys. Also, I will again post twice a week, on Wednesday and Sunday. I would try to commit for twice a week, but sometimes things happen and I have to go to doctors, because like I stated, I do have stuff that I'm going through medically, so it makes it hard. But I will try to do it twice a week, and hope you guys like my videos when I do post them out. And I hope you guys subscribe and give my videos a thumbs up, and leave me comments down below where I'm gonna read them, because I want to know what you guys think. I also want to take your feedback, and I know that with this it's tricky. Like, sometimes you like it, sometimes you dislike it, or people have a lot of comments to say, positive and negative. And again, I would take all the good comments and even the negative ones and grow from there, basically. Again, I hope that you guys do like my channel, do like the past videos that I posted, which have been like fun videos. I do have a lot of, because I did do this a lot throughout September to now. Like, I've recorded stuff, but I never posted it because I wasn't ready to get on the camera and actually talk to you guys and let you guys know what I am about. But I do have videos from Vegas. I do have a lot of footage from that, for my parents coming, and from a past Vegas trip, and little things here and there. I will also post my social media down below. I'll post my Instagram. I post there here more often, so I'll post my Instagram down below and my email, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos.